Hello, hello, and welcome to The Frequency, an online radio style blog dedicated to making you and me think deeper. I'm your host, Laquita McNeil. So let's take a deep dive. Okay, today's topic of discussion mixes music, business, ethics, psychology, and some crazy science. So, we have all heard music. You probably have some playing in the background now. We have our favorite songs that make us feel good and empowered, involved, and ready to fight or ready to work out. The key word is feel. Music makes you feel something. Well, music has been known to heal the soul, to create the feeling of love and happiness. We know that it is a powerful tool that has shaped each individual and is a huge part of culture, community, and country from generation to generation for thousands of years. Well, tonight we'll be exploring the music industry from several different academic standpoints. So, put your thinking caps on. Let's take a look at the music business. We want to look at the ethics of the industry and the practices that some of us have all heard about. Are they ethical? We'll also look at the psychological facts that some of the music has on society as a whole and a specific demographic. Lastly, we'll speak to a few artists to get their point of view and examine the effects that the industry has had on artists, both independent and mainstream. So, let's break it down. It's 2021. The question on the table is, knowing what we now know about the music and how it affects our brains and our actions, is it ethical for music companies to target and profit off of youth using music with negative messages? What's the results of such actions? So tonight we'll discuss music, the business, psychology, and ethics. First, okay, let's talk about the ethics. It seems as if the music industry practices more relativism. Let me elaborate on that a bit. Moral relativism is when there's no one set of morals. It's kind of like to each his own. When we can see this in a whole bunch of vastly diverse messages with each label and each artist that it produces. See, you can have trap rap on the same label as Christian rock. Record labels pretty much allow each artist to somewhat express themselves freely to a certain degree. The music industry also, I believe, follows consequential ethical theory of utilitarianism. Sorry, my apologies. You see, the music label funds the artist makes the music, the fans are happy, the artist and the label makes the money. It seems like a seemingly noble consequence or outcome where the majority involved are happy and rich. But let's take a closer look. Let's look at some rap music, for example. If you listen to these lyrics, there are a lot of songs that's being promoted. There's a lot of murdering and degradation and violence being rapped or sung about in these songs. What effect does that have on the listeners? And why is that not ethically taken into consideration by record labels? Well, one obvious answer is money. But before we get into that, let's look at if music really has any impact on us besides making us dance. All right. I believe that psychology and scientifically, music affects the brain, which then affects everything else. Even babies know this because music makes you feel. You see, science and psychology have discovered what humans have known for thousands of years. Music affects the brain, the body, and physical and mental health. There's a fabulous married couple. One is a neuroscientist, and the other one is a violinist who are professors over at UFC. I'll put the link down below so you all can look it up. They're a power couple. Well, they have researched that music can change your ability to perceive time, tap into primal fears, reduce seizures, make you a better communicator, make you stronger, boost your immune system, assist in repairing the brain damage, make you smarter, evoke memories, help with Parkinson's, and a whole lot of other things. Okay. We can clearly see that music is powerful enough to heal amongst many, many other things. But what about violent music? What does that do? Well, according to the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, violent songs lyrics increase negative emotions and thoughts that can lead to aggression. This shows us that music can be used to heal or harm. Another study I looked into said the results demonstrated were that listeners of aggressive rap music score significantly higher in the dimension of verbal aggression. These findings suggest that aggressive music can make listeners more aggressive emotionally compared to other types of music. The impact that music is having on emotions is great. Now let's dig a little deeper here. We're going to hear from our very first guest, the very famous XXS Tentacion. He's going to elaborate a little bit more really quickly on the science. Let's check it out.
I figured out that hertz is to understand the frequency vibration, right? So there's kilohertz. There's hertz, kilohertz, megahertz, right? And then I think it's ultra hertz. If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, like, if I want you to astral project, right? You know what astral projection is? No. If I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
All right, that's XXX Tentacion about frequency and vibrations and hertz and how music can be manipulated. And that's very interesting. Thank you for that information. So, to elaborate, to help us understand that a little bit further, what XXX was speaking about, there's an article from Binaural Beats that says sound is measured in frequencies and hertz is the measurement that we use. The way we feel and the way the brain responds when we listen depends on the combination of sound frequencies in the composition. This is known as frequency response. I'm going to give you all a little example. La, la. That makes us feel one way. La, gives us a completely different feeling. It shows us that the frequency that we're emitting, whether it's vocally or through instruments or a combination of frequencies, will help us to change. Okay. So, with technology, we can literally look at what part of your brain is active when certain musical frequencies are played. And there are thousands of studies out there on this aspect of music science and psychology. So, if we and record labels know that violent music can cause people to be more aggressive and violent and be influenced to even go as far as murder, why is this being promoted to our younger inner city youth? Well, I want to welcome our next guest, who's a longtime friend and recording artist, as well as educator. Everybody, let's welcome Unika to the conversation. Come on, Unika, please join us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to have you on the show. So far, we've been talking about how music makes us feel and our actions. Now, you're an artist, but first, tell us a little bit about your background for those of you all who don't know. Well, I'm a recording artist from Chicago. I've been an independent artist for about 25 years. I have been working with such music labels as Good Music, that's Kanye West label. I recently went on tour with the Isley Brothers. I've done tours with people like Jay-Z. I've been in the studio with Beyonce. I just have a very long list of things I've done over the years. I pretty much sing every genre of music, but I really feel like music should be meant to heal. So I'm really excited to be on the program today. Thank you for having me. Good to have you on the show. That's amazing. So tell us what you think artists and record labels' moral responsibility should be regarding the negative music that's being promoted to youth. Okay. Well, I don't think record labels should promote or profit off that kind of music. They say it's popular and that's why they do it, but that's really not true. Youth will listen to whatever you promote to them. The violence in the inner cities and between rappers increasing, it's crazy. And it's a cycle, a violent cycle. It glorifies crime. And the youth that listen to this on repeat, it somewhat starts to program their minds to make that their reality. And that's terrible. So, from an inside perspective, why is this allowed? Well, the music is very profitable for the labels and their sponsors, which include liquor companies, clothing brands, car companies, prisons, and many other affiliates. Also, the music industry, unfortunately, is filled with agendas and are often connected. There are many other industries that profit off of this type of behavior. And honestly, I witnessed labels trying to recruit poor, young, but talented ex convicts to keep this trend of rapping alive. I've even been approached with other negative record label agendas, but that's for another interview. Well, I wish we had more people that would speak out and create positive music instead. I totally agree. Anything you want to leave the audience with before you go? Sure. You gotta be the change. Be the change. Wow, I really felt that, Unika. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And everyone listening, please go and follow Unika on Instagram and Spotify. We have to support positive music. Well, in closing, I have to say that I believe that it's not okay for multi-billion-dollar companies to promote violent music to youth. To have knowledge and manipulate the emotions and influence actions of others and do so negatively for profit is gravely immoral and unethical. This is a never ending cycle of violence promoted through music, is definitely moral relativism, where everyone gets to have their own set of ethics and can clearly oppose someone else's morals, possibly to their death. As a virtuous woman, I believe in virtue ethics. The world will be a much better place if music could focus on the virtues of love, justice, friendship, patience, and the healing of sadness, grief, and loneliness. Music should never be used as a weapon of control for profit. Just a thought. Thank you for listening. And until next time, keep digging deep. This is The Frequency. Have a great day.